Hi there everyone, it's Chelsea from 1002things.ca. I'm just making a quick vlog to help people get on their way with making a life list, because I really think it's an important thing for a lot of people to do. You get all caught up in your day-to-day life and going to work and all of that, and not a lot of people make time for accomplishing their dreams, and we're a very goal-oriented society. So I think that life lists are important and helpful in doing what you want to do and getting what you want out of life. And yeah, I think a lot of people have it in their heads to start one and don't know how, or they get frustrated and stop. So this is just a little helpful how-to on how to get a really good life list and have lots of things on it, because you gotta have 1,000 or more on there, right? So that's a lot. I don't think most people should aim for that, or they should, whatever you want. So you've decided to make a bucket list, or you're thinking about making one. Life list, whatever you want to call it, there's a million names for them, but the most important thing is to just start writing. It doesn't matter if the first time you sit down you only have 3 things. It just doesn't matter, they'll come. It could take you 20 years to write your full life list, and that's fine, because as you get older and experience more things, you're going to have different aims and goals in life, and you're going to discover new things you want to try and that sort of thing. So just write. That's the most important thing. Type, write, however you're going to keep track of your life list, your bucket list, just write. It's the most basic thing I can tell you. Next is to be specific. I know that a lot of people on their life list have sort of very ambiguous goals, like spend more time with their kids or be happy. And that's fine. Bucket and life lists are very personal, but I think if you're looking for something where you can cross things off, you probably want to go for specific goals, like go to Niagara Falls, or try riding a unicycle, those sorts of things. If you want to spend more time with my kids, or fall in love, put those down, but it's just a warning that those things are pretty ambiguous, and especially if it's a public blog and you're documenting your travels through your life list, it might be hard to cross those ones off. Those very ambiguous, sort of, you can't really tell if they've happened, you don't know, there's no general quantifier for them. So it's best to be specific, but if it's your bucket list, do as you want. It's just a little opinion. Thirdly, don't edit yourself. A lot of people do this. It's because they do go public, they blog about their life lists, or they share it with their friends and family, and they don't put things that are gross or weird or embarrassing on them, which I think is sad, because it's your life list, and who cares if you want to do sad and embarrassing things. But if you need to keep a few things private, do that. Just write them on a separate piece of paper, in a journal, keep a private Word file, that sort of thing. Just put everything you want to do down on your life list. Don't edit yourself because of what you think other people are going to feel about what you've included on your bucket list. It's just silly. Just put anything you want down. This one's a little probably iffy for some people, but steal ideas. It's probably obvious. I mean, Googling life lists will bring up lots. I try, if I do go and visit other life lists and find good ideas, just leave them a friendly comment. Hey, great life list, great set of goals. I got some ideas from it, hope you don't mind. Or, leave a comment asking first. Of course, you don't have to do this with pretty basic ones. I mean, if you go to Stonehenge and you can't figure out why you didn't think of that, obviously they didn't create the idea of going to Stonehenge. So just put it on your list. But with more unique things, definitely try to link to where you got it from on your life list if it's public, or just tell them thank you and that you stole it. Try to be polite about it, but Google and other people's life lists are an awesome way to get ideas for yours, and I know people have gone through mine and taken ideas, which is cool with me. I mean, I didn't make it public to keep it private, so go ahead. Fifth is to jot down websites and keep travel brochures and those sorts of things. You might be putting down very obscure things on your life list, and it's important to remind yourself of what you meant by them. You can go, if you said go to the Spotted Lake, you might forget what that even means in 20 years, and it might take you 20 years to get to that particular item. It's called a life list because it takes you more than a year to do, I'm assuming. So just if you have a Word file or a blog, link to that so you know what you meant by it, or jot down what you meant, keep travel brochures and those sorts of items so you have reference to go back to, just so you know what you were talking about when you were 21 like me and wrote down something really obscure and random that you saw when you were stumbling or on Dig. So just make sure you know what you meant in 20, 30 years if it's going to take you that long to get to the things. And lastly is don't conform. I think a lot of people have the same sort of life list and goal list. It's just numbers and sort of randomly going down the list, but there's other ways to do it. I think it's John Goddard, or I think that's his name, The Ultimate Adventurer. He has this categorized, still numbered though. I think a lot of people would benefit from categorizing, like sport related events, traveling, hiking, family related, just to keep them in order. Or you don't even have to do it on paper or on computer. You could write them all down on a bunch of little pieces of paper and stick them in a hat, and whatever one you pull out you do next if you're really random. Just do it as you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. A life list doesn't have to be a list. It could just be a bunch of goals shoved in a shoebox that you want to accomplish. It's just important to remember that your life list is your life list, and it's the goals for your life. And it should suit your lifestyles. So don't conform. And remember, number 3, don't edit yourself. I think that's so important, not to edit what you want to do. I have Smoke Pot in Amsterdam on mine, and my mother reads it, so I realize that's probably not that hardcore, but still, my mother doesn't like that I have that on my list, needless to say. So I hope that's helpful and gets a few more people started on their bucket lists and life lists, and feel free to stop by my website and grab some ideas. It's 1002things.ca/the-list.